Welcome to the Hemlock State Explorer. There are some places that we might call places of distinction. They really are in a class apart and above the normal run-of-the-mill adventure, and they're worthy of special attention and excitement. And we're at one of those places today, the Seven Tubs Natural Area, just outside of Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania, in Pinchot State Forest. And as you can hear, there is some raging water below. This is an amazing really rock formation, pothole formation on Wheelbarrow Run that creates some really extraordinary waterfalls, and even more than just waterfalls, these tub formations. It's a place of exquisite beauty, and I can't wait to share it with you. So thank you for joining us. And it looks like this introduction is too long already, because here we are just after a minute's walk. We are at the beautiful Seven Tubs, and this looks like our first waterfall right here. And as you can see, the hike is not difficult at all, and it leads directly to this beauty. Let's go out on the rocks, see if we can get a better view. We've got water sliding over the rocks. Downstream. Let's follow the trail up. There's even a bridge above. Let's get a view from the bridge. We are crossing a bridge above the first waterfall. There's a trail to our left. There are trails down below. It really is like sensory overload. I think my biggest problem right now is I'm not sure where to go first. I think the term overwhelming would be applicable here. Look at that. Water snaking through the rocks downstream. Oh, and it's even better upstream. All right, we are at the base of the Seven Tubs area, and there are actually two trails here. One trail follows Wheelbarrow Run, and it starts right up at that wooden bridge, and that goes along the Seven Tubs. And at the base we have the Audubon Trail, which follows Laurel Run. So we'll take that Audubon Trail first and see the Cascades of Laurel Run, and then that will loop up to the top of the Seven Tubs area, where we'll pick up the trail along Wheelbarrow Run and see the magnificent waterfalls. Seven Tubs comes on strong with that amazing waterfall, just a minute's walk from the trailhead, and we've barely just gotten started on the Wheelbarrow Run trail when we encountered this raging water chute. Here's a view of the chute from the top as it races down the rocks into the pool below. And if we pan upstream, it looks like we're in for more of the same. Glorious. What a place to be. Well, my beloved viewers, you can see and hear to some degree these magnificent cascades, but what you're missing out on is the scent of the fresh rain through the woods and the very pleasantly cool breeze coming down through the ravine off of these cascades. You really need to get out here to Seven Tubs and experience it yourself. All the cascades and the pools and the various paths they take, the shapes, the colors, the scents, the feels are almost overwhelming and mesmerizing. So just be careful as you visit here, because as you can see, you need to walk out, or you don't need to, but you can walk out on some rocks to get the best views of the cascades, but the rocks are wet and slippery, of course, being in a stream, so just be careful. And here's another bona fide waterfall at Laurel Run along the Audubon Trail. Much of the excitement of the turbulent waters at Laurel Run along the Audubon Trail are these big rock slabs that, as you can see, they're tilted and slanted toward the stream, making them slippery when wet, but the water flowing over these massive rock slabs through these narrow chutes is what makes for such a magnificent view as this. I particularly like this section because of the big rock shelf running right through the middle of the stream, and as we pan down you can see all the various different paths that the water is taking. It's like a fantasy world of miniature waterfalls. We're on the northernmost leg of the Audubon Trail, following a tributary to Laurel Run. I don't know the name of this stream, but we encountered another slide waterfall. This trail just doesn't quit, and it's soon going to intersect with the famed wheelbarrow run of 7 Tubs. Well, I saw some leaves earlier, and I was hoping we would find one in bloom, and we have, thank the Lord. This is the native to Pennsylvania lady slippers orchid. Such a distinct shape of a flower. We are on the Abigail Trail at the very top of the hill, and we're about to head towards Wheelbarrow Run. I wanted to share this with you to give you a flavor of the character of the trail. It is significantly different than along Laurel Run. As you can see, it's rocky and even piney right at the top. On the way up it was mostly deciduous, but still rocky, so most of the trail is rocky once you get away from the immediate area of 7 Tubs, where Wheelbarrow Run flows into Laurel Run. I like doing it this way. I like taking the Audubon Trail first because that whets your waterfall appetite, pun intended, with the beautiful cascades and smaller waterfalls, and then you come to the superstar waterfalls on Wheelbarrow Run. So that's why I like taking Laurel Run first on the Audubon Trail. I keep wanting to call it the Abigail Trail from Michaud State Forest. That's another trail for another time, but it's the Audubon Trail. I like taking that first and then finishing off with the mega waterfalls on Wheelbarrow Run. If you just want to see the waterfalls in Wheelbarrow Run, well, you're kind of missing out, but you can go directly to Wheelbarrow Run without taking the Audubon Trail. And we're starting to head downhill, and we can actually hear the waterfalls now on Wheelbarrow Run. But in any case, we'll post the maps, as always, at hemlockstateexplorer.com, so you can customize the adventure to your own tastes. All right, we've intersected the 7 Tubs Trail along Wheelbarrow Run from the Audubon Trail, and it begins the waterfall extravaganza. But first, let's go explore that tunnel. All right, we are inside the tunnel. I don't know if you can hear me, but there's a small waterfall leading into the tunnel and actually through the tunnel. Looks like the tunnel is built right on a waterfall, and there's a railroad track that runs over this, which is private property, so I think this is as far as we're going to get. We'll round out our trip to Seven Tubs by sharing with you the forgotten waterfalls of Seven Tubs. There's actually two that come together, one there and then one flowing from this side of the hill. But we'll mark the coordinates on the map. They're called the forgotten, at least I call them the forgotten waterfalls of Seven Tubs. There you go, it's hard to see through the trees. But I call them the forgotten waterfalls because they're off of the main area. There are a few things you need to know before you visit Seven Tubs. One, it is just south of Wilkes-Barre, which is a major urban area, so you can expect large crowds if you visit, especially on the weekends or in nice weather. We happen to be here at an off-peak time. If you can make it during the week, I would recommend that if you can. And also, I haven't done much reading on it, but I would almost bet that people have been seriously injured or even killed exploring the Seven Tubs area just because it's so rocky and it can get slick. So when you visit, please do exercise extreme caution. And the trails are also fairly rough and rocky. I would rate them as moderately difficult. But in any case, if you're able to make it out here, please do so. This should be at the top of your to-do list for outdoor adventure. We want to thank you for joining us at the Seven Tubs area. And until next time, we can't wait to see you on the next adventure.